to the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. I am your host for this week, the man, the myth, the legend, Sir Colonel Gables, and joining me way far away in the mythical land of Iowa, Tyler Courtney. How are you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing okay. There's nothing mythical about Iowa. It's just a lot of corn. No, that's about it. I mean, corn. It's delicious corn. Don't get me wrong. Oh man, my mouth's watering just thinking about fucking corn on the
Or
cob. Buying
shit.
it from some old lady in the back of a pickup truck, in a parking lot at Dairy Queen. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm doing all right. You know, it's Saturday. We're normal court recording night. It's day 2 of us recording. Um,
Mm.
it's E3 is one of my favorite times of the year, and this is day 1. It was a thing that happened.
Oh, well, yeah. It certainly was a day that happened. If yesterday was the beta, today is the full-on first day release, and there are definitely some bugs and some glitches in the system day
Needs to go back to
one of
alpha.
E3. It feels like it's an alpha stage, like it actually
They
regressed.
they need to do like what Amazon did with that game they released earlier this. They released it last year, and then it was so no one played it. And it was so bad they put it back into beta, and then they put it back in the alpha. And then they just canceled it.
Oh,
They like,
Jesus.
oh, we released it. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should go back to like put it back. They need to pull like E3 needs to pull that game, whatever that game was called, and go back to beta because it's
Oh my God. That
maybe we're just getting
MMO?
the shit out of the way, Gables. Maybe it's all easy sailing after this.
Well, I hope so. I mean, definitely so. And you know what? I really hope that Microsoft really hits it out of the park tomorrow. I hope Nintendo does the same thing, and any other game company press conferences like pressers of some form, I hope all of them hit it out of the park
Hmm.
going forward, because let me just say, and it's like Tyler and I kind of feel the same in just a lot of the same regards here. It's like a lot of the conferences that we did see today, really there wasn't anything too eventful. Like for example, Gearbox. Oh my God. Let's just go in and just dive into this can of worms right here.
Hmm.
Gearbox had their conference today. Their first 15 minutes of it was just Randy Pitchford walking around just on the set, quintessentially, of this Borderlands movie that they're going through and going to start shooting. They're actually in the middle of shooting,
So they're
apparently. It
about
was all
halfway through.
exactly. They're like about halfway through this, right? And bear in mind, this entire like duration of this conference, no, this whole video presentation stuff, it's all advertised sort of like a spoof like university of this and that,
Gearbox University.
yeah, whole Gearbox University and stuff. And quite honestly, it was fairly cringe. Not just like in an unsettling way, but you could just tell how douchey Randy Pitchford is just from
I
not just from the way he looks, not the way he conducts himself, but you could just you could just feel it from when he's talking to people and when the people go through and react to him directly. It just feels like that it was just like off the cuff, just like right in the moment, no leeway whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know?
I know people are sick of cancel culture and blah blah, but if there's anybody in the gaming industry that deserves to be canceled, it's Randy Pitchford. That guy's a fucking capital C douchebag. Wait, that didn't make any sense. But
A capital D
capital D.
douchebag.
I did capital and it made me think of C. Anyways, you know what I mean. This is where I'm at after watching hours upon hours of fucking. I wasn't watching the whole thing, but I was dipping in and out,
Oh my
and I
gosh.
caught the press conferences at least, and dipping out the rest of it. And
Oof.
my brain is fried. I'm just sitting there thinking, man, like I got fucking Final Fantasy VII Yuffie over here. I got fucking Ratchet and Clank over here, and I'm fucking watching this bullshit.
And you know what? We thought Koch Media was bad in terms of
Mm-hmm.
their presentation and stuff, where it was just mostly them talking, showing minimal of game reveal or minimal type of things.
No gameplay.
This no gameplay and stuff. That was boring. This press conference was just borderline awful
Yeah.
in
I,
regards of that plus no, what got me the most, even from what tidbits that you did show me, Tyler, because I did not watch this damn
yeah, I
presentation in
made
its
him watch it
completion.
because I had to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. But the worst part about it, like one of the worst parts about this thing is like they reveal this game that finally the game they do go through and show. It was like an old collection of some from like a backlog
Homeworld.
thing from their company's history, right? Like Homeworld, right? And they advertised, okay, Homeworld 3. This game is gonna be we're working on a new Homeworld game. I mean, that's fine and dandy and stuff, you know. We thought, okay, it's one time, right? It's like they're gonna advertise this thing, you know, get it up. We're gonna move on to the next thing. No, they proceed to bounce back and forth between re-showing the Tiny Tina Wonderlands like thing from yesterday that was
2 days
prevalent in
ago.
yeah 2 days
So
ago. Yeah,
yeah,
not only that, but they go back to Homeworld not once, but another time as well before the end of the conference, and meaning
3 times. Three
three
times.
times. 3 times they showed Homeworld 3 to just try to.
And
Uh,
they weren't even
uh,
showing gameplay. They're just showing this thing that Homeworld 3 is in development. That's all it
exactly.
was. It. Oh my god! It's like I was talking. Like okay, at least like Catch Me was really bad, but it was really really bad because it's 2 hours. This
Yes.
was luckily it was only 30 minutes, but at least Koch Media announced some shit. Fucking Gearbox was literally the first 10 minutes was just Randy Pitchford walking around the set of Borderlands, the movie, talking to like the director and some of the people and some of the cast in the movie, and but like they obviously don't know what E3 is. They don't like it's just literally Randy just walking up with a camera and starts talking to him. There's like they're not ready to be interviewed. They're not ready to answer questions. Or it's just uncomfortable. It's cringeworthy to watch. And then we finally cut to that. They literally reshow the Tiny Tina trailer again, and then we see the Tribes of Midgard trailer they showed at Summer Game Fest as well
Yeah.
2 days ago. Right, so they went from Tiny Tina to then Homeworld to then Tribes, uh, uh well, Midgard, and then went back to Homeworld. And then Gables, the one actual announcement that they had for us was
Hmm.
the fact that Godfall, a PS5 launch game exclusive to PS5, is now coming to PS4.
When I saw that reveal, I quite literally did a face palm because that was the most stupidest way they could have possibly revealed that that game is coming to PS4. Now, granted, this is like the exact opposite that developers have been going, you know, because they're advertising, hey, you know that game that you played and enjoyed on the PS4? Guess what? You got a free update to the PS5 version where you can
Yeah.
transfer your saves and your trophies and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you have Gearbox that unveils the PS4 version like almost like a year after they released
Mm.
the PS5
I told
exclusive.
yeah I told Gables I hope the PS5 version has a downgrade to PS4 because that'd be awesome. That would be incredible. I hope that's the case. If I bought a digital version of Godfall on my PS5, I want to be able to play on my PS4.
Oh my
For
god.
those, for all 18 people that bought Godfall, and that's what's so funny about like what I mean. Godfall came out. It seems like the most 6.5 game ever made,
Yeah.
um, and it's like I was telling Gables, I'm like, there was like 8 games at launch on the fucking like PS5 on when it first came out,
Yeah.
and nobody gave a shit then. No one bought it then. You think people are gonna care now? It comes out in August. You think people are gonna care going into the fall about Godfall, a failed PS5 game? And what's funny, the whole trailer they showed was just a PS5 gameplay. We weren't even showing PS4, which I get. You want to show, you want to put your best foot forward, but I don't know. Maybe we'll look at Cyberpunk for false advertisement and for video games and how that goes. But I guess it won't matter because people actually bought Cyberpunk, and nobody will buy fucking Godfall on PS4 because no one bought it on PS5
Oh boy.
unless it's like
Yeah,
$10.
that's a good point. But yeah, that was Gearbox. But it was definitely followed up by something better in regards to Devolver Digital.
No,
Now,
no, no, no.
granted,
No, this is what really made it worse. Devolver was before Gearbox, and then it was,
wow.
and that's something we didn't touch upon was that with Gearbox is like so Devolver always does a wacky thing. They basically just make fun of E3 every year. They do it,
Yeah.
and it's funny. And it's always a good time. Even if you don't even care about the games, it's always fun skits, and they always do like a good job. But Gearbox was just trying to do this was trying to do a Devolver press conference with the Gearbox University stuff and crack jokes in between the game stuff. And it was just not funny. It was not good at all. And then on top of all that, we talked about the first half of it. The first 10 minutes was Randy Pitchford walking around the set. The last 10 minutes of the press conference was Randy Pitchford again walking around the set. So that's how it ended. And then yeah, but like I said, sorry to cut you off, but that was like this was really bad. It was awful, but it had to follow on top of that, and make it even worse. Devolver. So go ahead and jump into that.
Okay, so like Tyler was stating, yeah, Devolver Digital did have their conference and stuff. They did have their presentation before Gearbox and stuff. So yeah, that was my error on that part.
No, you're good.
But from what I actually watched from Devolver Digital's press conference and stuff, it was cohesive. They normally have their shtick that they do every year in regards to what their presentation, what the games they go through and like introduce and this and that. And I got to admit though, the games that have popped out from this presentation, you know, actually look fairly good. A lot of them look highly unique.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was this one game that almost looks like a D&D style of like game like a board game that was
Inscription.
like Inscription.
Yep.
Yeah, Inscription. I'm actually looking at the
It's coming out.
webpage right
It's
now right
announced for
here.
this year, but it's only on PC.
Well, yeah, it comes out on
Oh
Steam, I
wait, I'm looking at
guess,
the wrong
and
one. I'm
that
sorry. Yeah, no, it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's PC only.
okay, so it's PC only. And the game itself kind of is like almost like a survival kind of style of like a dark survival like horror kind of game board style of game and stuff where you like have to play along and stuff in order to survive and do this and do that. The whole reveal of it's actually looked pretty cool. But when it comes to a lot of different stuff, you know, it's like yeah, it was pretty good in that
Yeah.
regards.
Um. Overall, I enjoyed the press conference. Like, I always like love the style and the look of the Volver games. They always look super awesome to me, and I always like, oh, I want to play that game. And I just never like their games, unfortunately. And I hope that there's a couple. And once again this year, I come out of this and I'm like, oh, this game looks cool. This game looks cool. All right, Gable's got to walk away, so now I got to fill time again. So, all right, guys, be cool. He's gonna come back. He's gonna have no pants on. Yesterday he left and he took his hoodie off. This time he's gonna come back with no pants. For audio listeners, I'm really sorry, but this is what's gonna happen. I'll let you know. And I'm not. If he comes back with pants on, I'm gonna just tell you he's not wearing. If you want to see Gable's penis, you gotta watch the YouTube version of this. And gotta watch it fast, otherwise it's gonna get taken down. Um, but you know, it's like I always enjoy um, watching their event. I always enjoy uh, the trailers, and it's like I bought there was like that one side scroller a couple of years ago that came to Switch. There's like a banana and like you're like a guy. It was like a twin stick shooter, but it's like a side scroller. Ape Escape was another one that comes to mind where I bought those. Super excited for those. It just didn't connect with me. Fall Guys, another one like it was fun for a little bit and it kind of fell off. Um, but yeah, I mean overall though, like just kind of Gables is back and he's not wearing pants. I called it. I told you guys. I was telling them yesterday you left and you came back with no.
I'm in fact wearing pants.
No, he's not. For audio listener, he is. We saw his penis. You got to go watch the YouTube version to see it. I was, because I was telling people yesterday you left and came back with your when you took your hoodie off, and today you came back. You left and came back with no pants on. So that's the thing that happened. Uh, but yeah, I really enjoyed the like the skits and stuff like that. Like, and I love the whole idea about what was they're announcing was the Devolver Max Plus or Max Pass Plus showcase, and it was
Yeah.
monetization as a service was their tagline, and then the whole thing was they were like talk about you pay $10 a month and you get all of our games for $10, and that was like the big thing. They're like pushing this thing. It was all like it was obviously a joke. But some people were like, that'd be cool if they announce it. But then every game they showed off at this event was it's part of it's a part of our Devolver Max Pass Plus as a premium content, kind of like a dig at fucking like Disney Plus for having premium movies behind the paywall of Disney Plus. It was fucking fantastic. I loved it. Jason Momoa was in one of the skits.
Wow.
Aquaman for people that don't know. Also. Sun and Moon, or Sun and Our Moon from Game of Thrones. Uh, but yeah, overall, I really like. There was that Trekayami game that was. We saw a little bit of gameplay for. That looked kind of cool. I mean, it's next year, but it kind of very much reminded me of like like a Ghost of Tsushima or like an old school samurai movie, like we were talking about. It's all in black and white. That's actually coming. Oh no, it actually is coming to all consoles. In the trailer, it only said PS5 and Xbox Series S or Series and then PC game consoles, but it is actually, it says here it's coming to all of them. Um, I thought that looked really cool. That Wizard with a Gun trailer looked really cool. As of right now, it's only saying PC. That kind of looked like it's like a survival game, but it's only like, but we were talking about. It kind of reminds me of like a Super
Yeah,
Giant game.
exactly. It does.
Like the music sound like a Super Giant music style. It sound the art style, the gameplay look kind of remind me a lot of like Bastion. I thought. Um,
I
yeah,
know.
I thought it looked really cool.
I thought Death's
Go ahead.
Door looked fairly cool, honestly. And
Yes.
that game, you control like a little crow. You're going around just like taking shit out and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
it definitely reminded me quintessentially like a hybrid, almost like a Hades style of game, like a Super
Mm-hmm.
Giant game, sort of similar to how like the other game that we were just talking about just a moment ago and stuff.
Oh,
Plus,
I already forgot it. Let me scroll back up. I'm sorry. Um, Wizard
it's
with a
Wizard
Gun.
with a Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost sort of like style because of how quick the
Yeah.
action was and how interesting in regards to the whole scenery and stuff looks. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed like Demon Throttle. Demon Throttle. This is a
Yeah.
quirky one because this is going to be a Switch game, right? But it's physical only. They advertise this thing as being in physical only, not
Yeah.
digital. They have it completely remodeled, almost like exactly like an NES game, right? And this is like a co-op style of like a shoot 'em up style of game,
Reminds me of like the top down levels from Contra.
Yes, kind of similar to that, but the look of it is very retro. I didn't know any better. It would look exactly like an NES game. I mean, almost exactly like it, from the CRT kind of shadings to like the pixel art style to like the chiptune kind of like music that would fit roughly. And I'm not talking about like a fake sort of like a pseudo like 8-bit thing like some other developers have claimed to have done, which it's modernized in terms of how it sounds and how it looks. I mean, but this one actually looks like they took like a development kit from like an NES and stuff and actually built upon what they could
Yeah.
go through and push in terms of that, on top of having like a modernized sort of like scale in regards to the compression and this and that. It honestly, it really impressed me in terms of how it looked like, how it performed and stuff. But I got to give kudos and stuff. They really wanted to delve in their direction fairly hard and stuff and make sure it's a physical only release,
Yeah.
which they got like
Y-
3 months. You got to pre-order this damn game.
You gotta pre-order. You gotta pre-order between now and like October 13th, I think it was.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come out till next year, and it's only on like one website. The pre-order form. It's $40, and it said in there, what was it? Only physical, never digital. So yeah, they're very much making it. It's called the collector edition, and like it's literally gonna be a collector's edition because you got 3 months to buy it and it goes away forever. It's kind
Oh
of like
my
the
god.
Fire Emblem thing like last year with Nintendo Switch, where it was only the original was only available for like 4 months and it was gone. Yeah, I mean, I really like the Death Store thing. Really, it's coming out July 20th. It's on X. It's only coming to Xbox and PC as of right now.
Yes.
It's like 20% off if you pre-order it. You said Hyper Light Drifter, and immediately I'm like, all right, well, I'm buying that game. So it's like $20 normally. It's like 16 right now, I think, if you pre-order it. So I'm definitely, yeah, that's probably gonna be day one buy for me because that game looks really cool. Like you said, it looks like a kind of like the top down ish like Hades style gameplay, but like more of like the kind of a Hyper Light Drifter, like with the
Yes.
like the more of the like it's not as like crazy fast and not as many enemies on the screen at one time as from the trailer at least. Um, so yeah, I can't wait to fucking play that game because that game. I was just talking about while you were gone. Like Devolver Digital games always look incredible to me. I love
Yes.
their style. I love what they do. And I just never like their games. I buy them every year. I do this. I buy one or two of their games that they show off, and sometimes I don't even realize it's a Devolver Digital game. I like that game looks awesome. I buy it and I see the logo for Devolver Digital. I'm like, fuck, damn it! And like I buy their games and I just like Ape Escape and a couple other games I was named off while you were gone. And it's just like, man, I wish I loved them because yeah, I mean they I think their games are good. It's just not for me. So yeah, I mean, easily so far the best thing Like you said, the big thing that came out so far we've had this week is Elden Ring, which wasn't technically part
Yeah.
of E3, but since in day one, Devolver Digital fucking knocked it out of the park. Especially for grading on a curve
Yes.
for today, they were greatest conference of all time, grading on a curve with fucking Gearbox and Devolver and
Oh.
Ubisoft. And I like the fact they called it Devolver Forwarder. That was what they called it. I love that. I'm like, you, we don't deserve, Devolver Digital.
Oh man, just the
God
just
bless
the
you.
amount of like realization and like foresight on that, it's like that's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, anyway, listeners, before I get into the next conference, which is the Ubisoft one, which is officially one of the five that we will be covering for our predictions and stuff this year, I just wanted to let you guys know ways you can actually go through and either watch and or listen to us. So, for those of you joining us on Twitch, welcome. We definitely enjoy having new people come forth and just our show. Follow us. Our like a Twitch page right here is Drunk Nerds Podcast for those
Mm-hmm.
listening right at the moment. So if you want to follow us on Twitch and stuff, that's fine. On
Yeah.
Twitter, we're Drunk
And
Nerds Pod and stuff.
just real fast, like I said, we're coming at you 5 days in a row. So
Yeah.
we'll be recording live on Twitch every single night. Twitch.tv/Drunk Podcast. Um, I don't know that it's gonna be sporadic time wise because Gable's fucking bastard got the week off. I did not. So it's gonna be some weird times. I'll try to do a good job of like posting when we're gonna go live. I forgot to do it today. I didn't do it. I failed you guys already. So keep an eye on our Twitter page
Yes.
for that news. But yeah, I mean the video it's gonna be a little different between the audio and video version for people. The video versions they'll go up all as one video. We'll have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Um, of podcasts, and it'll just all go up one. When comes to like the audio version, the podcast version, I will be breaking those up by press conference. I don't know. I think today I'll just do all as one because it's only really one. Like of the main four, because we have Ubisoft, then we got Microsoft with Bethesda, then we also have Square Enix, and then we got Nintendo on Tuesday, and then maybe today and Mondays will be all one thing, and then I'm gonna break up on probably Tuesdays will be all one thing, but like tomorrow's Microsoft Square Enix will be broken up at the very least. But I'll just play it by ear and see how it goes. Um, as far as the audio version. But if you want to watch this all in one go, YouTube and Twitch is the way to go for that. But if you're an audio listener, it's gonna be broken up. Sorry for that, but it's usually better for us when we break these things up into different. We get more views and it makes it easier for people to check out the shit they want to hear about. So yeah, but go on, Gables. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, Nate, no apologies needed and stuff. I mean, also just want to let the listeners know and stuff, or anybody watching in and stuff. You really want to go forth and listen to us for our podcast or something. We're on Spotify. We are definitely on like a couple of announcements in that regards. So basically, to get the rundown of what happened was Rainbow Six Extraction. We saw a little bit of gameplay footage of that and stuff, and we got a release date of September 16th. They also came out. Ubisoft announced Rocksmith Plus, which is quintessentially like almost like a guitar learning sort of like a game in that regards. That's how I interpreted it because you're still playing
Yeah,
like different types of songs and stuff, doing music, but you could use like you can actually use your own guitar if you choose to, like an acoustic or like an electric guitar with like a little dongle that's like an adapter for like maybe your phone plus an app and stuff. It looked fairly unique in what
yeah.
they were presenting it for.
Remember my parents bought this game for my sister a while back, and I guess the big thing about this one it's gonna be it's more of a subscription service. Um,
Yes.
and you can just plug it in like a USB adapter, and you can plug it into pretty much anything and use it. It's not going to be on console. You can plug it into, um, you can use like your phone or a computer or whatever. It's not going to.
Right.
So yeah, it's not you're not buying a game at a store now. You just buy it or you just pay a monthly service.
So for the next game that was going forth and unveiled was Riders Republic. Riders Republic was a game that Ubisoft announced last year. I actually hadn't realized they announced the thing last year, only because I think it was only like a
It's supposed to come out
teaser.
in February.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out. What was it supposed to come out this past February or next
Yep.
February?
So like they announced at the last Ubisoft Forward, like we're supposed to have Prince of Persia in January. Then we're supposed to have it's supposed to be Prince of Persia in January, um, Riders Republic in February, and I think Far Cry 6 was supposed to be March or April. Was how it's supposed to go. Then all three games is like shortly after the Forward got delayed. Now Prince of Persia doesn't even have a release date, and now, yeah, so yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah, no doubt. So for Riders Republic and stuff, they initially showed gameplay and stuff. I personally watching it, there were hints where it kind of looked like sort of like a Tony Hawk game because with the whole BMX riding, the snowboarding and stuff, it looked fairly decent in regards to
Mm.
their whole pitch of like an open world style of like a sports like extreme sports sort of game quintessentially. I mean, at one time, I think at one point or something like that, you're riding downhill like on a bicycle or something like that, and it's like a first,
Snow bike.
yeah, like a snow bike or whatever the hell, and like it's like a first person point of view and stuff, and you have to go and take these turns at just the right moment. Or the next instance, you're just like snowboarding, pulling off all these insane tricks, or like on like a bicycle, just doing some BMX moves or other things. I like the concept. I'm kind of wondering in regards to the quality of this game because it definitely looks more ambitious, if anything else. And from what they were initially showing inside that gameplay style of trailer, especially with the aspects where you have like guys that are like using those like fly suits and stuff going to specific points, I kind of wonder if this style of like open world sort of extreme sports game like they have obviously went through and veiled here if it's like almost similar to the exploration styles of some of their previous like games like an Assassin's Creed or like a
Yeah.
Ghost
Well,
Recon
it it,
stuff.
it kind of reminds me of like they expanded upon what was that fucking
Yeah,
steep.
Steve.
They like it's expanded on version of that. Um, and I always like I've definitely fallen off the Ubisoft bandwagon as far as I used to love. If you were listening to us beginning of this podcast, if you've been around for a while, there was a stretch there where Ubisoft was basically my favorite developer. Where everything came out, I enjoyed. I either, at the very least, I liked it, if not loved
Right.
it. There was like Far Cry, Watch Dogs, and then like Assassin's Creed were like all killing it for me. Then like Mario plus Rabbids, shit like that. And it's just like I give all respect in the world to them. Where like they do some like as far as like the big third parties, they definitely do the most shit as far as like they take chances on stuff. They don't when stuff comes out and it doesn't hit right away, they audible and they always find a way to make these things work. For the most part, Steep obviously came and went. It didn't work out, but like you look like we was talking about Siege died immediately. For Honor died immediately, and they fucking bring those back. And they were talking about in the pre-show about like they had like plans for announcing plans for Siege, the next season of Siege, and then like the cross progression and cross play is coming to Siege later this year for PC. It's weird they're doing like a PC Stadia crossplay.
It was like
It's coming out
PC,
in
Stadia, and I think Luma as well.
Luna.
So
Yeah, Luna.
what's kind of crazy
And then
about that, that whole kind of weirdness is like they had two different types of cross progression. One for the PC side where it's like PC, Luma, and Stadia, and the other side's just for Xbox and PlayStation. I'm like,
yeah. Well, basically the idea is like when people like it's always talked about when console players play against PC players,
mm,
it's just a
mm,
massacre. So that's why they're separating. Which I mean, I love the idea. Like we always something I always talk about. Like people always want crossplay, and I get it. I would want crossplay as well. I'd obviously rather have it than not have it.
right,
Especially for like for like, it's just better to have it. Having you don't have to worry about having only especially smaller multiplayer games where it's like you don't have to worry about having like Knockout City. Maybe they have a million people playing it, but 300,000 are playing over here and 300,000 are playing over there. I sound like fucking Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. Mom, he took it over, threw it over there. But I don't know why I got old time newsy guy on that one. But yeah, it's just smart putting it together. And then Xbox and PlayStation are gonna have crossplay and cross progression next year. I think they said early next year. But the big thing I think is cross progression. That's what I always talk about. Like everybody has a lot of people have crossplay now, but very few people have cross progression. It's
And
like
that's
some of the
important.
bigger ones, like the big ones do, but like a lot of the medium or smaller games don't have it. Like Fortnite has it, Warzone has it, and now Siege will have it. But yeah, like I was saying, with like looking at jumping out back to Riders Republic here, where um, it looks like a really cool game. It's something I think I like. It's just the game looks so much fun, but it's also something I know that like if I don't have like people to play with, which I know I won't have people to play with, if I had like a dedicated group of friends I could play this with, I would for sure. Like they should like one of those game modes where it's like 6v6, and you're just doing like Tony Hawk shit, and you're just trying to whoever has the most points at the end. You're just doing tricks and shit, and you could be on a snowboard, you can be on a fucking bike, a snow bike, skateboard, whatever you want to be on, you could be on, and whoever has the most points at the end wins. And it's just like that looks incredible. This game looks like a ton of fun.
It does.
But it feels like if you don't have friends to play with, this game
is gonna die quick.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for talking while I was burping there. I was trying to talk through the burp, and it didn't work out. But yeah, coming out September 2nd, that's good. I mean, it seems like a decent time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like it. And could jump back to Rainbow Six Extraction.
Okay.
That game looks like, I think the game looks fun. It's with all these. They always look like, it's like that's the problem with these games. They look like fun, but it's like you need to play with like, especially like Rainbow Six games. Those games are so like slow. They're not like run and gun, whatever. You got the like Siege and all that. You got to play with like friends. You got to play with people you can work with. On these, it's a slower pace, methodical shooter game, strategy game essentially, and it's like if you don't have dedicated people to play with, it's just not gonna work for you. Like I mean, obviously Siege does really well, and I think this game will do really well. And it sounds like they basically took all the characters from Siege and are putting this. It almost seems like it should just be like a expansion of Siege rather than its own separate game. But yeah, it's interesting though seeing like Riders Republic is September 2nd and Rainbow Six Extraction September 16th, and then right after that, like I think October 7th or something is Far Cry 6. So we're having 3 Ubisoft games in a month. But I was thinking I'm like they're doing it again. They did the exact same thing last year where we had end of October we had Watch Dogs, in mid-November we had Assassin's Creed, then beginning of December we had God, what's that fucking game called? The Breath of the Wild knockoff.
Oh, it was Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
Immortals. I always want to say Infinite. I know it's wrong. Immortals. Thank you. But the problem with those was like those are all 3 open world style games.
Yep.
At least all 3. At least Extraction, Riders Republic, and Far Cry, completely different games. They're Ubisoft games, but they're completely different. So it's not going to cannibalize them the way those 3 games did. We saw like Watch Dogs Legion did okay. Assassin's Creed, best-selling Assassin's Creed ever, and then I'm what's the goddamn name of the game again? Not Infamous, not Infinite.
Immortals.
Immortals. I don't know why I can't remember the name of this fucking game. Immortals came out and just died. I know there's a pretty good fan base that's behind it, and like I keep hearing more and more people, and as it's like it's been going on sale constantly for like $30.
Dude, it's been
more and more people pick it up and enjoy it.
It's not even been a year. This game's already like a cult classic. That's what I get.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be one of those like it's like always like those AA games you always hear about from like the PS2, GameCube era, and like the PS3 360 area that people like. No, this game's really really good, guys. You don't understand. And like I feel like that's
what people said about Beyond Good and Evil too.
Yeah, it's okay. What's it called again? It's not Infinite. It's not Immortals. I got it this time. Jesus Christ! Wow. I can't. I don't know why. It's just like, immediately as soon as I say it, it's gone. But yeah. Moving on. I'm sorry. I went on a tangent there.
Oh, hey, it's no problem. But honestly, towards the middle point of the conference and stuff, it was just a reiteration of content either coming to established games or like an announcement of an established game. Like, say, Just Dance 2022 was announced, which, yeah, it's another Just Dance game with new music and whatsoever.
And Gables. We can officially say rest in peace the Wii.
Yeah. Actually, that was something that was mentioned as well, that not in that conference per se, but this is going to be the this is actually going to be the first year that Ubisoft does not release like a Just Dance game on literally a console from like 2006. That's a crazy ass thing that they kept like copies releasing on the Wii for that long. But no, what's fairly each content, their new season and this and that, I mean, and on top of that, it's like for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, this is something that I did not expect Ubisoft to actually do. Instead of like doing the casual, oh, okay, we've released this game like for like a year or something like that. We've already put out its content. It's like, yeah, let's go ahead and like just move on to the next game and then just develop that. No. No, instead they're going to be releasing another expansion for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And the expansion obviously is coming out in 2022. They're still working on the things, but it's like they're more or less establishing more so, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla as being like a live service, like almost
Yeah.
games as a service style of game right now. I'll be perfectly honest with you, the game is really fucking bulky as it is in regards to a lot of the content that you need to explore and stuff, and this and that, plus the expansion stuff. I'm all for having a hell of a lot of content to go through and do this and do that and stuff. I kind of wonder how many people will actually keep playing the game in 2022, especially go back and get the content with that stuff. But this is actually the first time they actually mention it in their conference. It's the first time ever for an Assassin's Creed title that they're actually going to focus upon this one game for a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they've already mentioned that they're taking a year off again from Assassin's Creed, which I kind of like. That, we were talking about they were
Yes.
doing like 2 years in a row, then a year off, then 2 years in a row, a year off. Um, Now maybe we're looking at where we're going to see every other. We're going to go 2 years in between a game, which I mean, that's always great. And it's like I've definitely, I was once again talking about Ubisoft for a while. They'd be my favorite developer for a good stretch of time, where I was a fan, pretty much a borderline fanboy of Assassin's Creed games. Where I bought every single one on launch for years. I mean, really, Valhalla was the first one I did not buy at launch.
Mm.
Now I think about it, um, and I mean, I played probably 10 hours of Valhalla. I didn't really like it that much. It's just it's because it's not Assassin's Creed. I mean, after what's the Egypt one?
It's Origins.
Origins. I mean, it basically just went to Witcher, but a bloated Witcher, which Witcher 3 is already pretty bloated. Um, it's just way too much shit. And I heard like it takes like over 100 hours to beat the game, and 120 if you want to beat the actual game. Like so, yeah. I am.
It takes a specific type of
People.
mindset, honestly. The
Yeah.
type of gamers they're aiming for with this Assassin's Creed experience with that much content is quite literally the gamer that only buys maybe a handful of games a year.
Yeah.
That's what
I mean, if you if
it's
I'm
quintessentially.
sorry, I cut you off
Oh,
there,
that's
but
good.
yeah, I mean, if you love, I totally get it. Like these last three Assassin's Creeds are like way better, uh, from a broad perspective than the original ones. I miss the original ones. I love it. Like you like one of your things. And we'll get to our predictions here at the end. Was the 2D Assassin's Creed game. I was actually like kind of like I mean I never even thought about that really. I know they've had them in the past, but they weren't very good. But I was like, oh man, just like I just want to enjoy Assassin's Creed again. Like I enjoyed Odyssey, but I enjoyed Odyssey as Odyssey, not Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Um, so yeah, I get it, but like just take the fandom out of it. Like I think this is awesome. Supporting games, like obviously this like I said, Assassin's Creed's bigger than it ever has been. This is the excuse me for burping. The biggest Assassin's Creed game ever so far, and continuing to expand upon it and keep adding more and more content. They just had a DLC pack that came out, was it last month? I think in the last month, and people seem to really enjoy it. It's like in Ireland, it's getting pretty good reviews. So I mean that's awesome, and doing another year of it is awesome. Like I said, like I didn't love this press conference. I did not. I don't really enjoy a lot of their games, but I respect the hell out of what Ubisoft does. Where like these games come out, and we talk about like we were just talking about Anthem earlier this year about like with the whole Anthem next thing, and then finally
Yes.
we're just like just get rid of it. Like no one
It's
cares.
just dead.
And it's like yeah, and it's like these games like we talk about like I said, Siege came out and died, For Honor came out and died, and those games have been out for 5 years,
Yes.
and they're still big. Like those games came out and died, and they turn it around, and then, like now they're still going,
Yes.
and it's incredible what they do with these. Like it's so, I think it's awesome. I feel like you were into these games. I mean, I wish I really wish I was into like more Ubisoft games, because it would be so awesome like to keep going back to some of these games. Like there's a lot of games I play, they come out and there's never anything for it after that.
Right.
And I'd love if they added more things like a Final Fantasy VII doing the Yuffie stuff. And I heard it's pretty good. I can't wait. I've already, like I said, already bought it. I'm obviously playing Ratchet Clank right now, but like that, I was so incredibly happy to hear. Like my second favorite game from last year is having DLC. Okay, fuck yeah, I'm all in for that. Like, I'm gonna support people doing shit like that. I wish, and it's like good stuff. It's not like Doom Eternal's bullshit with like we're just adding a bullshit map and we're just making it's just a harder mode than what Doom already was, kind of shit. It's like it's
Well,
quality
right.
stuff, and it's like that's awesome. Like I said, I wish I was as big of a Ubisoft fan today as I was 5 years ago.
Oh man, I understand exactly how you feel. I mean, my past with Ubisoft games, I mean, it's kind of hit and miss as well. I mean, Assassin's Creed 2, that was the last major Assassin's Creed game that I played through and I wanted to complete. But on top of that, though, I mean, it's starting to drift in, interest over the past like 3 to 4 years and stuff. I mean, Wildlands, that was a game I enjoyed, even though I
Yeah.
pretty much don't probably ever want to go back to that game again
It's so
now.
funny. You platinum that game and you like simultaneously loved and hated it. It was the weirdest. Like you like talking about the game was like the weirdest discussion or like weirdest like chunk of our podcast like ever. Like that month of you like playing this game and trying to platinum it, and you didn't know why. It was like so funny to me. It's one of my all time favorite things. It just Gable's like, I'm playing this game, but I don't really like it, but I'm playing it.
Well, that's the thing, like sometimes I get into the mood where if I'm playing a game, and in that case and scenario with Wildlands, it was one of those weird things. It's like I enjoyed I enjoyed going through the process of freeing a lot of those different territories and stuff, but it was kind of like the same old things. I kept encountering the same type of glitches, especially with the helicopter one that kept on like sticking sliding ever so slowly into the damn water, and I could not get back into it. But oh my god. Yeah, for
Yeah,
Ubisoft games, it's really kind of hit and miss
they're
with
it's
me.
just really like they have like they have their Ubisoft map games, and I mean they do a damn good job of like sucking into that fucking rotation, that grind, where like a lot of other games, a lot of people like will fall off of. They don't get the loop of those games. They don't like them, but Ubisoft has like perfected people, and like if you love a good map game, like they're the best in the world at it.
Yes. But other than that, though, we did get to a low point inside the Ubisoft conference where they started talking a lot about, like, say, TV and movie stuff, which that
They
came
had
out of
the
fucking left field.
Well, they mentioned they were going to talk about it. There's a Mythic Quest stuff that's on Apple TV, and I've heard it's actually pretty good. I do have
Uh-huh.
I got a free year of Apple TV for when I upgraded my
Hmm.
iPhone, so I should probably check it out. I heard season 2 like just came out, and people are like raving about that show. Like I said, I should just check it out. And then there's that Werewolf Within trailer that we got, but that trailer came out a while ago, and I watched it. I didn't even realize I watched that trailer when it first came out, like a while back, and it looks like a good rental comedy movie. Um, so I didn't hate it that much because like at least it's like quality. It's not fucking Monster Hunter the movie trailer kind of shit. At least like it looks like Mythic Quest. People actually seem to really like that show, and it's like one of the head writers from Always Sunny. Um, Danny is or Mac. I'm sorry, is
Mm.
the head writer for this, and he's the star in the show.
Yes.
And then Werewolves Within has a pretty decent looking cast, and looks like it might be like a fun, dumb movie. So
Um,
I didn't hate it, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was weird.
oh, yeah. But after that, though, we did get a new Far Cry 6 cinematic trailer, quintessentially. We
Yeah.
delved a little bit more into the story of a specific scene upon these ladies and this kid going onto the boat. And it's like, I already understand that a lot of the story elements, I mean, this from how they presented this story in regards to this trailer in and of itself, it already looks like to me this is going to be definitely a memorable style of like cinematic stuff. I am honestly through with seeing a lot of the freaking story stuff now. They just need to start showing more of the fucking gameplay
Yeah, I
in
mean, we,
regards
we
to it.
did they did do the Far Cry 6 thing a week or two ago with a
Okay.
bunch of gameplay for that. That
Oh,
looked that I mean it looked like it was fun. They have like a gun that like shoots um CDs and like it plays the Macarena.
eh?
Okay, you just need to watch the trailer for that. Just
Yeah, I
what
wasn't aware of that.
remind me after the podcast. I'll show you the trailer. It's pretty funny. It's pretty good.
But I'll tell you
Um,
what, though, what was more interesting in regards to that, in my honest opinion, was them unveiling their season pass for Far Cry 6, right? I mean, quintessentially, yeah, it's a scuzzy thing, right? You're introducing your game, and the game's not even out yet, and you're already advertising your season pass. But the concept of them revealing the season pass was fairly interesting, is because now this is like a separate style, like it's like a sort of subsidiary game, right? Like almost a spin-off game inside the season pass, where you get to control one of three different previous villains in Far Cry games. So you have Voss from Far Cry 3, you got Pagan Min from Far Cry 4, and then you have Joseph, I think, from Far Cry 5.
I think that's his name. Yeah.
And it's like seeing the perspectives, and I actually was laughing pretty hard when it came to like Voss and stuff just tripping out and stuff, and you see the protagonist of Far Cry 3. It's like, do you know the definition of insanity?
Mm-hmm. He
that
was
was
awesome.
that was
Voss is
fucking
incredible.
awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like, and that kind of like there was that rumor that came out late last year about them bringing that. Like, there was that rumor when they announced Far Cry 6, when they officially revealed that Ubisoft Forward about the kid that was in the trailer, the announced trailer, was that like young Voss from Far Cry 3, because the guy that played the voice actor for him said in like an interview or like a podcast that like he was working with Ubisoft about reprising Voss, and a lot of people were thinking that's him, and then they had to come out and say no, that's not young Voss, and it turned like a whole hubbub like about okay, Voss is coming back. Are they what are they doing here? And this looks like this is what it is. Was basically the season pass for Far Cry 6 of with the playing as a villain, which I mean I get why they're announcing the season pass stuff already, because like they already like when you go on like the PlayStation Store and shit, like you want to pre-order Far Cry, they already have the main version, the deluxe edition, and then like the big edition that's like $100 that comes with the season pass. So it's like it's just what it is now, where it's like okay, well we want people to immediately buy the very expensive version, the more expensive version than the regular version. So like let's tell them what they're getting out. And then at the end they announced we're getting the Blood Dragon DLC, which
Yeah,
I,
Far
I,
Cry
I
3
didn't really care for.
Dragon.
I love Far Cry 3, and I bought the Blood Dragon DLC on 360 back in the day. It's whatever. It's just based. I didn't think it was all that as great as I was hoping it would be. So, as Gables takes a huge chug of his fucking vodka over there. Um, so yeah, I mean I don't know. I want to so badly play like Far Cry 6. Looks like a ton of fun, but so did 5, and I did not like 5. Far Cry 6 is definitely gonna be a wait and see as far as what's coming out around that time in early October, and then like what people were saying like review time and preview time. Like Far Cry 5 was there's some fun in that game to be had, but it was just your momentum was constantly stopped of like every 10 steps being attacked by a truck full of bad guys. It's like get rid of that. The Ubisoft bloat, like I talked about, um, and I don't know. Like I think this game could be a ton of fun.
Right.
I really want to so badly play it. I love the main bad guy. Obviously, Breaking Bad is one of my top 3 to 5 favorite shows of all time. Um, so yeah, I hope this game is as incredible as it seems, because I feel like it'd be a ton of fun to play.
All right. So after that, we actually got the unveiling of a game that was spoiled by Nintendo
Yeah,
this morning
like 6
of
in the morning,
recording. Like 6 in the morning, I get this text from
my time.
Tyler. I get this freaking text from Tyler and stuff. I hear my phone like vibrate, right? I check on my dresser and I see a message from Tyler. It's like he just sends me like a freaking photo, and I see it, and it's Nintendo's website, and they have the
Yeah,
freaking Mario plus Rabbids, like a spark of hope
And they never even bothered taking it down. It
No,
just stayed up.
no, it just stayed up right there. But oh my gosh! But yet seeing this trailer and seeing the unveiling of it, honestly, Tyler, it was the best thing that we saw from that Ubisoft presser.
Yeah.
And just bar none, it was definitely the best thing we saw that Ubisoft presser because it's like you got this fresh element, to a game that previously released like 4 years ago at this point. Great game, Mario and Rabbids Kingdoms Battle.
Best game on the
Still,
Switch.
I still want to play this game. What's interesting, I need to finish that game. I know that. I've played some of it. I have not finished it. It's still fucking good. But but the interesting part about this is like they didn't advertise really a console when this thing was released on, in regards to just
Mm-hmm.
if it's just the regular Switch or if it's preluding to something else. The trailer of itself, it looked fairly great in my honest opinion. It's in pre-alpha footage in regards to the gameplay. I mean, the gameplay from what it looks seamless, kind of looks smooth. It's a little bit more bigger in scale. I kind of like the whole aspect of the rabbit, like Rosalina and stuff like that, which is very indifferent about everything.
Yeah.
But oh god, yeah,
Where are
just
you at with like with the Lumas?
oh
Like
the rabbit lumas. As soon as
are the rabbits and the Lumas fucking? Is that what we've established?
what's going to be established is we're going to actually learn the origins of how that came to be. Inside the game itself, from what I understand. But can I just say it was so fucking hilarious that you just drift down, you see this little plush of a Luma and stuff, and you see what looks like a Luma in the back, and all of a sudden turns around, it's a fucking rabbit if you use the Luma. I'm like, oh my god, Jesus, I just couldn't stop laughing at it. Like, oh my god,
I wish they called this game Super Mario Galaxy plus rabbits
oh my
or
god,
Super Mario Galaxy 3 plus rabbits. That'd be like that'd be awesome.
oh
Because this
my
is
god.
basically it's basically like they're even on the ship from Mario Galaxy 2. Like that's what they're flying. Yeah, this is like the closest we'll ever get to Mario Galaxy 3.
But yeah, the whole unveiling, the gameplay of it looked fairly
Mm-hmm.
decent in that regards. It's going to be releasing in 2022, which,
Yeah.
you know what? I got my prediction wrong. But at that same time, I'm very happy to see not only the trailer, but also the footage, knowing this game exists, that it's coming out next year, and it looks fucking good. I am hyped of it. But I'll tell you what, Ubisoft had the trailer, what I would consider, you and I probably would both consider be the best in regards to that whole press conference.
Yeah.
And then they follow it up with Avatar, quintessentially Avatar Frontiers of Pandora 2022, which, you know what? I, there's like a couple things in this regards. It's like the Avatar franchise in of itself, just barring my lack of interest aside and stuff, from what they showed so far, I mean, I liked a lot of the conceptual art of it, but we just got the announcement of it. They were working like on this IP of Avatar, James Cameron's Avatar, and like it looks good in motion. We didn't see hardly any gameplay because it's more so cinematics, but it definitely felt out of place of being that one more thing. In my honest opinion, like this would have done well, like maybe in the middle of the conference and then ending it with like the Mario plus Rabbids stuff.
Yeah, I look at it from like the prospect of the Avatar game. Like they announced they're making years ago at this point, so we knew it was coming, and it's just a matter of like when are they gonna like talk about it. So I think Avatar, in a lot of ways, probably will be bigger from outside of gaming. It's gonna go across gaming. Like Mario plus Rabbids is big for gamers, and I feel like Avatar will be bigger. It's because like we got the movies coming.
Mm.
Like they're making 17 of these things already. They've already announced. Um, it's like and just make. I guess like being the one more thing. I get it. It's 2022, no gameplay or anything like that. Uh, it's made by the Division people, so it's probably gonna be a pretty good game. I bet. I'm curious if it's gonna be a live service game or if it's gonna be like just a open world game. What's this game actually gonna be? We have no actual idea. But I mean, I don't know. It's whatever. Mario plus Rabbids. If if it didn't leak, it would have been way more exciting than what it was.
Yes, it definitely
That's what
would have been.
sucks. Because the biggest thing of the day, I think, for gamers was Mario plus Rabbids 2 being announced.
Yes.
Um, And if we wouldn't have known about it, it would have been so much better. It would have been way. It would have we would have came out like kind of like the Elden Ring thing. Even though we were positive about it, like Elden Ring rumors were coming out earlier in the week, and then like Jeff Keighley was like basically teasing people on Twitter all week about it. Like
Yes.
like everybody knows he has it, and he's like, all right, well everybody knows I have it, so I'm gonna fuck with him about it. But there's always that doubt in the back of your mind. I'm like, well maybe it's not there. And then like he does like the one more thing, it's here finally, blah blah, and it happened, and it was awesome, and like everybody was super excited about it. And it's like okay, we all knew Mario plus Rabbids 2 was coming. We were like we talked about yesterday on last night when we recorded about Spark of Hope. We already knew the title and everything like that. But it was like still like you going into it, like all right, this is that down in my mind, and when it happens, fuck yes. But then Nintendo ruined the announcement of it, and just kind of took that. I mean, it's funny because we always want the rumors, we want the leaks. We can't because we want to know what's coming, and we
Well,
can't
yes,
wait to
exactly.
hear. It's kind of like when you're a kid on on Christmas. It's like if you could rip open all your presents and then put it back together without your parents ever finding out, we'd all fucking do it. But then it would ruin Christmas, kind of thing. It's that same idea. It's like we can't wait, so we want to know. But then when we already know, it kind of ruins the actual event itself. So whatever. I mean, it's our fault. It's not really our fault. It leaked. It's Nintendo's fault, but we already knew it. But we could have probably. Well, I don't know. Whatever. We're on the internet. But yeah, I thought overall the press conference was fine. Like it wasn't bad. It wasn't like Devolver was definitely more entertaining.
Yes.
Gearbox was obviously awful, cringeworthy bad. Um, and then like Ubisoft Forward, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. And it's kind of what I mentioned last night when we were talking about like this is what to expect from E3 was like if we have it, everybody has a lot of games announced. And it's more about just getting more details in those games and getting more probably a release window or release date, which we got here in Ubisoft Forward. And it's like I said yesterday, a lot of games that might get announced don't expect the thing where they announce it and it's out in 4 months kind of thing. Expect these games to be far off. And yeah, like I said that, and I was still hoping like I'd be awesome if like so like kind of a lot of people were talking about this not Marvels, but Mario plus Rabbids being a 2021 game, possibly like a fall game, and I was like, fuck yeah, like I saw that, like hoping back in my mind, even though I said the thing I said yesterday, and you said November, and I was like, I'd
Yeah.
be totally fine with November, but like I was kind of hoping, like I was thinking, like okay, they announced Mario plus Rabbids 1 at E3 2017, and then end of August they put it out, so 10 weeks. I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's
what
what
if they
I
did
was
that
initially
again?
thinking they would do it again.
Yeah, and I was hoping for that. Obviously, it didn't happen. We just got 2022, but I don't fuck care. I'm just happy it's happening.
Yes.
That stuff. I mean, I'm buying it day one regardless. And yeah, it's interesting they didn't put a console down, but we all know it's a Switch exclusive. It's just a matter of is it gonna be on Switch and another Switch, or is it just gonna be on Switch? So who knows?
It's
I
going
mean,
to be exciting to know.
yeah. Okay. Like we always do, like a out of 10 score.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
kind of what's your overall grade for this?
Honestly, from what was shown in that regards, I definitely would feel this would be like a 6 out of 10, in my honest
Yeah.
opinion, where it's like there were plenty of interesting things that were shown. There were definitely some aspects that interested me, like in regards to the whole like Rider Republic stuff, which seemed fine. I mean, Valhalla getting expansion stuff in 2022, that was surprising in that regards, that Ubisoft is staying to what they want to do, and that is take a year or so away from like creating another Assassin's Creed style of game in order to focus upon one established for like another year. But Mario plus Rabbids, A Spark of Hope was definitely the best thing, and I felt like that was enough to elevate it to a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. No, I've been wavering between like a 6.5, 7. I'm gonna go 7 out of 10. I like overall, like I said, it wasn't like where my expectations were was a little under what I was my expectations. Yeah, but like was like I was there was definitely parts where I was bored, but I was never like I was still like watching it like still like okay. I mean nothing looked terrible. Like it was just like some
It was
sections just dragged on too
okay.
long. Yeah, like
It was
extractions. We
okay.
didn't we didn't need 20 minutes of extractions to start off the event.
No,
Um,
that turned me
we
off.
did we didn't need a teaser trailer followed by an interview followed by gameplay of it. Like that's my pet
Yeah,
peeve of these things. Just do one of the do one a teaser or gameplay and then move on. We don't need a teaser, interview, gameplay. I hate that shit. My pet peeve for these
well,
events. So yeah, I mean that. I mean day one overall was kind of a meh start, but like I said, maybe we're just getting the shit out of the way. And I just keep thinking of that Family Guy sketch or cutaway from where it shows like it's like the Jewish people like being slaves in Egypt, and it's like
Oh.
see it's like right now it's like when the Jewish guys is like right now we're getting all the bullshit out of the way now, and after that it's gonna be easy sailing from here. I was thinking
Oh.
that's kind of like whenever I
Oh.
think about shit like this, getting the shit out of the way early. It's just like I think of that. That's that cutaway where it's yeah from Family Guy. So like I said, 7 out of 10. It wasn't. It's definitely not the worst one. Like Devolver is. I would put like if we're like an 8 probably. Like none like there's only 5 games shown, but it was just overall very entertaining.
Yeah.
Like from an entertainment factor, like a 9. From a game press conference factor, it's like a 5.
Right.
But I don't know, like probably over like Gearbox -17. Um, is where I put that one at. I mean, I think Gables. I don't think you're too far behind me on that one.
To be perfectly honest with you, if I really had to rate the Gearbox one and even the Koch Media stuff one from yesterday, I mean, Koch Media I think would have been in like a 2 out of 10, and Gearbox, oh god, Gearbox wouldn't even be that much better than
2.5.
that. It would, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, 2.5 would be definitely what I would rate
Yeah.
that.
Because at least Gearbox was only 30 minutes and Koch Media was an hour
Two
and 50.
hours, like nearly 2 hours for Koch
Yeah.
Media's.
I do want to before we get out of here, Gables. I want to update everybody on
Sure.
what's going on with our prediction so far. So coming out of this, we going into it, I was already -1 because I said Rainbow Six Quarantine would be called Parasite. Obviously now, and I double D that one, meaning I could lose a point or I get 2 points on that one. It could become obviously Extraction, so I lost a point on that one. But I had No Beyond Good and Evil 2, so I got a point for that one. So I'm back at
Yes, you
0.
did.
Gables had Prince of Persia coming out 2022, which
Yes.
wasn't at the press conference, but they did announce on Monday that it's coming out 2022. So you got a point for that one because that was part of our agreement. Was anything
Yep.
that came out that was announced during the week of E3, the week going into, that would still count. You had Mario plus, you had as your double D, you had Mario plus Rabbids 2 coming out in November 2021. Obviously, that was wrong. So
Right.
you're up 1. Now you're down 1. So you're back down
Yep.
to 0. And then you had 2D Assassin's Creed revealed. That was wrong. So
Right.
nothing on that one. I also had South Park. The next South Park game will be revealed. That was wrong. So now we are both. We are now tied at 0 apiece.
We broke
overall.
even.
We broke even.
After day one.
Day 1 over. We're at 0-0. Tomorrow is Microsoft, and
Oh boy.
so we have 3 tomorrow on this because we did.
Oh
We
yeah.
did 3 predictions for Microsoft, Bethesda, and we did predictions for Square Enix. So
Yes.
if you don't mind, I'm going to update people real quick on what our
Yes.
predictions are, just so
Do
they
it.
go into it. So for Xbox, Gables had Halo multiplayer out in August and campaign in October. Outer Worlds 2 will be revealed with a 2023 release date. And you said for your double D that Xbox buys the PT IP from Konami.
Yep.
My picks were Halo Battle Royale mode would be announced. Also had Cuphead DLC will now just become a full-on sequel to Cuphead, so Cuphead 2. My double D prediction is no Hellblade, Fable, or Perfect Dark will be at the press conference. They might mention it, but there'll be no CG trailer or no gameplay trailer for those. And then for Bethesda, Gables had Starfield 2023 Xbox exclusive. Quake reboot revealed. That was your double D. And you said Wolfenstein 3 would be a timed exclusive. For me, I had Wolfenstein 3 2022. No mobile game talk is my double D. And a Skyrim remaster or upgrade, whatever, will be coming to the Xbox Series and PlayStation console. And then finally, for Square Enix, Gables had for his double D, Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 will be there. Kingdom Hearts 2, or I'm sorry, Kingdom Hearts. The next Kingdom Hearts game will be revealed with a 2022 release date. And then you said, if I can fix that one, sorry. You said a Final Fantasy remaster for September 2021, which I'm not feeling too good. Well, I don't know, because there's a Final Fantasy 1 through 6 collection being rumored for the event. So that would count.
Yeah, it would.
Even though it has 2 through 6, it would still count. If it comes out in September, you get it. And then my picks are there will be at least 3 Final Fantasy games at this press conference, which I feel pretty good about. If there's that collection, that's 6 right there. That's my double D. Guardians of the Galaxy will be revealed, and then the Black Panther expansion for Avengers will be coming out September.
Oh, okay.
So those are our predictions for tomorrow. So
Oh my
again,
God. I feel like that one. After, I think after tomorrow, I think it's gonna be straight on. Like one person's probably gonna be like,
yeah,
or we
yeah,
could just break even.
I feel, yeah. Who knows? We'll just be tied and we'll end up both playing Night Trap.
Oh, that could seriously happen.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. All right. So with that in mind, let me go forth and remind you guys how you can listen to us just to round things out before we close out the episode, the show for today. So on Twitter, we are Drunk Nerds Pod on there, Facebook, Drunk Dash Nerds, Twitch, Drunk Nerds Podcast, on YouTube, we are Drunk Dash Nerds, and on Spotify, Drunk Dash Nerds Podcast. We are on Apple Podcasts and stuff, plus, let's see, Anchor?
Yeah, Anchor is our sponsor. Anchor
Yes.
is our podcast host. So, um, yeah, go there, check them out there. If you are a someone that wants to start a podcast, it costs. There's no monthly fee to start it. It's for free, and on top of that, they will pay you to make podcasts. So it's pretty incredible.
All righty. So, you know what? That has been day one of E3, everybody. I have been your host, Colonel Gables. So, until next time, everybody, I hope you have yourself a good time. I hope you pretty much keep an ear out because we will be doing multiple shows all the way through the rest of the next week.
Till Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, at least until Tuesday, when essentially. But yeah, have yourself a fun time, everyone.
And I was Tyler. And hey, Gables.
Yes.
Too sweet, baby.
Too sweet, man.
Bye, guys.
See ya.